Let's bring in Bill Kovacic. He's former FTC commissioner and chair. Bill, it's good to see you again. The message here seems loud and clear. Don't try to do any deals right now. Am I overstating it?
If you're a large tech company, you have a significant position in a variety of tech markets, this is a very discouraging move. It reflects a view on the part of major enforcement agencies around the world that they were far too lenient from roughly 2000 up through 2020 in reviewing big tech deals. It's led to a determination to look at these deals not only very carefully, but to come up with inventive theories of harm that can be used to block deals. So yes, indeed, this is a chilling event. It's a very strong indication of the kind of scrutiny that one will receive, not just in the United States, but globally, often through a coalition of regulators that are focused on the same transaction.
Put your hot policy hat back on, Bill. I can see you say it's unmitigated chilling effect on deal making, but is it similarly an unmitigated disaster for the economy? If you were a regulator today, would you be trying to block these very deals on competitive grounds?
I think the belief that lies behind it is that there are going to be other paths for the development of these companies, that there are other acquisitions that will not place the assets in the hands of a leading player in the tech field, that there's a great deal of resilience in the market. And I think in many instances, there's a belief that we can certainly debate and test that lots of large-scale acquisitions don't deliver on the promises that motivate them. So I think from the point of view of the regulators, there's relatively little downside to intervening here, and there's the potential to stimulate other transactions or developments that will be positive.
You know, I'm not sure, Bill, this is just a big tech story, because a lot of the deals that are getting hung up are kind of smaller and seemingly almost a side story, you know, like the standard General Tegna deal, right? A hedge fund trying to buy a local TV operator, or, you know, Spirit and JetBlue. Okay, well, you know, it's not a big tech company. So, and to their point, they're saying, how are we ever going to be the fifth biggest airline if we can't kind of merge and get there? So it almost seems like no matter where you look, the answer these days is no.
It is not just a big tech deal. You think back to July of 2021, when President Biden issued his manifesto on competition law, his executive order on competition. He decried what he referred to basically as 40 years of failure of enforcement, where merger enforcement in particular was far too permissive. This has galvanized the current leadership of the U.S. antitrust agencies to bear down hard on an array of transactions. Transportation is one of the most important, healthcare, finance, tech as well. So the concern that we see reflected in the challenge to Microsoft-Activision is replicated across the board in a variety of other sectors. And again, a crucial motivating impulse here is that mergers and acquisitions so often fail to deliver on their promises. So you're not giving up a lot by getting in the way of that. And perhaps you're creating opportunities for business to evolve in other directions. So it's a deep belief that antitrust blew the call in the past by being too permissive. The need as a result to bear down very hard now, with a great deal of confidence that you're not losing a whole lot, because most deal making does not generate net economic benefits. Those are firm beliefs in the enforcement process now.
So